Hello, Gabriel.
Hello, Martina.
I want to talk to you about steps today. Often people ask me, what is your next step? And I don't want to ask you what your next step is. I want to ask you, what is the step that you are taking right now?
Right now, I'm doing an experiment, which is to for 3 months carry around the sword everywhere I go. This is one step I'm doing at the moment. It's right here, and I have it. I carry it around wherever I go. I sleep next to it, and I go grocery shopping with it, and I go to the forest with it, and people look very weird and ask themselves if I want to kill them or anything, but no one has asked me anything yet. And it's about keeping my sword up and keeping my attention up and staying present and centered all times at all times.
Could you show that sword again, please? It was very fast.
Just a usual katana, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about one arm's length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do that?
Because I I sense that I'm not that oftentimes I like when there's some energy coming towards me, I sense that I'm like making myself small and hiding instead of just standing there with my sword and let the energy like just be sliced in two parts um, with the sword.
So
This
you,
is
yeah.
yeah, this is what I want to learn.
So it is about attention.
Yeah.
How long do you do that experiment already?
It started it started last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you also go out with it and go to the supermarket. Where do you have that sword there?
I carry it on my hip.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if I have to push this shopping basket tray,
Yeah.
I have it like I hold it with one hand and I also hold the shopping cart with the other hand, with
Oh.
the same hand. So it's like, but it's always I always have it like right there.
Do you know this story about the? Mm, I don't know. I read this there about this people living on an island, and then a warship came, and they didn't see that ship because they didn't know that warships exist. The, the, the warships didn't exist in their world, and so they did not see that ship, even it was when it did come nearer. And because I have this experience, I also carried a sword outside in the city, and people seem not to see it. It was like I didn't have that sword because it was not in their world that there is a 50-year-old woman carrying a wood sword. What is your experience? Do people see that?
Yeah, yeah, people see it. And and they look at me and it seems to me that they have the question of what's happening there, but they don't ask. Like, okay, so probably some kind of weirdo like or role player or something. And sometimes I can sense the fear coming up in them about okay, am I safe? Am I still safe? Like, why is he carrying a sword? Yeah. This is my experience, and I also get it because with the I don't know, the with the corona rules, you have to carry the mouth face mask,
Mm.
and like you cannot see my face, you can only see my eyes, and then there's a guy like running around with a sword. It's dangerous somehow for many people. I think a 50-year-old woman wouldn't be so dangerous to carry around a sword, because I mean, in this culture we live in, it's just a woman carrying a sword. Like, okay, like what? It's not dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to hear more about what do you feel when you see those people reacting. And you said some things what you assume they might think about you, and what happens in you, what do you feel. I'm especially interested to know what you feel then.
With the other people, you mean?
Yeah, for example, if you see somebody is afraid of you perhaps, and is thinking about if he is still safe in your presence, so then what do you feel?
I usually feel fear, because like, what do I do if they come to me? What if the police comes and says, hey, why are you carrying around a sword here in the middle of the town,
Mm-hmm.
or something? And what story could I make about it? And what if they ask me? What if like, it's a lot of what if they come to me, and this is my emotional fear.
Mm-hmm. And if you would be authentic, I know that one of your right principles is authenticity. What would you say?
To the people,
Yeah, why are you carrying a sword in the supermarket?
I already have two different stories I can tell, and I'm still searching for more. One story is that it's a Achtsamkeitsübung, like it's a attention keeping, attentiveness, a mindfulness exercise. And if I have a policeman in front of me, I can easily say that, because if they have their hand on their gun, they're also very clear. They're like, it just changes how I am in the world. I'm very more present. I'm very more aware of what's happening at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is an awareness exercise. And also I'm using this to practice for a role as a um, Schauspieler,
An actor?
an actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the second story I have. Yeah. And if I'm like the yeah, the real story, what is the real story? It's about me staying, like, about me not making myself small, and it works. Like, I see how I'm walking through the street differently. Like, there's the fear, and there's also this, there's the fear of being judged, and then there's also this, well, but I'm doing it anyway, and I'm here, and like, I have a sword, I'm armed at all times. And if I cross the street, like cars are very more aware about this, because, well, I have a sword, I'm walking around with a sword. So it's a very different energy I can tap onto.
That's a weird experiment. I guess you cannot make that without your gremlin energy.
I don't know.
Which part of you decided that to do that?
Well, I did an emotional healing process, and it was about taking a stand, and it was about like when other gremlins like come to me to say, well, I'm not backing down. I rest my case. I'm standing here. I have nothing to stand on, but I'm not making myself small just because you come to me. I have my sword with me. Like I'm here. I'm prepared. And I got the experiment then, and I said, yeah, I will do it.
How
And it's
long,
crazy.
how long will you do that?
For 3 months.
Wow, okay.
So I will also fly with it. I have no idea if it's possible to fly with a wooden sword. It's not sharp, so maybe I think it will be possible.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Gabriel. Our time is over now. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week.